Okay. First of all, many of you, if you have not read the second edition of Slut, there's a lot of new material in it, a lot of things explained that I didn't even know when we wrote the first one, and there are exercises to try to learn things. The most important thing you can do on your journey is open your heart to yourself. There is nothing more important than that. Whatever you feel, when you're frightened, if a little 5-year-old kid ran up to you screaming at the top of their lungs going, I skinned my knee, it hurts, oh my God! And what are you going to do? Say, oh, shut up, it doesn't hurt that much. Or are you going to say, come here on my lap, come here. No, oh, let me take care of you. Oh, you really skinned your knee, didn't you? Poor thing, let me kiss it, right? This is what I mean by opening your heart to yourself. We are harsher with ourselves than we would ever be with our children or anyone else. We are so hard on ourselves. And I say, the other part, the corollary to keeping your heart open to yourself is you'll do things you wish you hadn't done. So don't do them again, okay? Yeah. But don't die if you wind up just try something and you decide you don't like it. That's perfectly fine. You get to do that. And you get to have regrets, and you get to check things out, and you get to have limits. And mostly you get to explore your heart's desire and be kind to yourself while you do it, okay?
Other questions? Yes?
Coming from the BDSM perspective, I have a neat little elevator speech that I give whenever people say, why are you into that? Or why do you do that? And I've got this very simple, short, abbreviated, this is why, that people can normally go, okay, I may not agree, but I accept it. Do you have something like that for polyamory? We're there, and we're finally at a point where we want to be open with this, and not just something that is our little, it's in within our household as we know, but, to be able to walk out in public, and when people go, wait, why are there career deals holding hands? Do you have any kind of little...
Those are two different...
What is the magic phrase?
Yeah, right.
That will have people understand us. In a tweet, yeah. 140 characters or less. Polyamory, then BDSM, go!
Not the BDSM, just polyamory. Just polyamory.
Okay. Fuck the BDSM. Oh, go!
We did write 5 books. I do have one for BDSM, which is just look at Hollywood movies and tell me what entertains people. And TV shows now. Yep. What entertains people? Victims and villains, victims and villains, victims and villains. Violence, violence, disgusting violence. Janet and I walked out of Pulp Fiction pale and trembling. Here we are, the big bad SM authors. And we can't sit through a Tarantino movie, Poly is a little harder for people. The statistics since Kinsey in the 40s have consistently shown us that people are naturally not monogamous. There's a charming book written by friends of mine called The Myth of Monogamy that's about the lack of monogamy in the animal world, done by DNA testing the little chickies in the nest, There has, and maybe DNA testing will change people's opinions, I don't know. I really wish we could live in a world where people didn't get in such an uproar. I keep reading articles about how to do therapy with a couple when one of them has cheated and had an affair, and what are we going to do with the unfaithful one, and how are we going to take care of the hurt one, and nobody says any word about that poor person who was the other person in this game, the poor soul who loved the unfaithful one. I just get angry because people don't want to face reality. And what I discover, the reason I really don't have an elevator speech, except that it really is okay and people have been doing it for a really long time, is that people don't want to hear it because they're terrified that their partners are cheating. I have an easier time with a naive audience talking about BDSM than I do about poly. People are just, you're saying it's okay if he, she, it cheats? I mean, what the fuck? That's all they care about. We were on radio somewhere, like in Omaha, I think, or something like that, by phone, and we were talking about poly, and this woman calls in, and she said, well, my husband wanted to do that, and I had to be upside his head with a cast iron frying pan. I'm like, great. So that's your priorities, huh?
Yeah.
So I wish I had an answer for you. I don't have an easy answer for what we tell people who think we're crazy.
Your closest I've come is that as long as it's consensual, it's not cheating.
Yeah, and that transparency is a beautiful thing, and
then they question the jealousy, and then they never get past that. They
well,
never get past that.
that I have an elevator speech for.
I love it.
Okay. People experience jealousy, and sometimes they get in arguments when I teach classes about whether it's nature or nurture. My answer to that question is I don't know, but I know that we can all learn to not have jealousy be this devastating emotion. There is no reason, no good reason. Ask yourself a question, why is jealousy such an overpowering emotion? I mean, you learn to deal with anger, you learn to deal with sibling rivalry, you learn to deal with grief and people dying, you know. Why do you give jealousy the power to say that that can't be moved? I say jealousy can be turned from a tornado into a gentle summer storm, and that's what is written in this book, is exactly how to do that.
You and then you. Yes.
But don't you think that the reason people don't want to face jealousy is because they haven't faced their own insecurities to be able to move past that?
Well, yeah.
So the question is the reason that people don't want to face jealousy is they haven't looked inside themselves and faced their own insecurities.
I actually have a theory that is written at length in this book. Because we deal with anger and grief and losing our jobs and stress at work and whatever, we deal with all things better than we deal with jealousy. Jealousy is like, hey Joe, where are you going with that gun in your hand? Which is insane. Rather see you dead, little girl, than see you with another man. I mean, what are we doing? This is so out of proportion. Why is it out of proportion? So I have a theory. It might be insecurity, it might be territoriality, it might be problems with anger, it might be believing that no one else will ever love me or put up with me. But I have a theory that jealousy is experienced very differently by different people. But it is a manifestation of some conflict within us that we believe we are helpless, powerless over. And so we project it onto other people. We believe that we can't hold it, that we can't live with it, that we can't change it, that we can't accept ourselves and survive having this one feeling or set of feelings. That's what we give it so much power. We give jealousy way too much power.
And culture reinforces that.
Yeah,
too.
and so we project it. That's the defense we use. I feel horrible because you did this. And getting into ownership of jealousy is work. It's a very hard-working trip for many people. But when you do that work, you get to heal a part of yourself. And you are no longer powerless over scary emotions. Think about it. This is good work. This is a win for everybody.
I was going to ask kind of that, but I was going to ask about the fact that we're, as a therapist, I find it really, the cheating thing is much more about the dishonesty than it is the sex. When you're dealing with people who have a couple maybe or whatever, or somebody who's trying to deal with that, isn't the real issue boiled down to the talking to? They were lied to, not so much or lied.
Do you want to say that out loud for people?
Yeah, more the reason people aren't dealing with it, and you're talking about polyamory, or the jealousy.
Couples in general.
That people are avoiding talking about it, or lying about it.
The anger that they have is more about the lying.
The anger is about the lying.
And it is the sex.
Got it.
If I lied to you about going to a movie that you didn't approve of, would you feel as strong as if I lied to you about having sex with somebody?
No. Depends on the movie. Even if I went out with a credit card and bought something fancy at Nordstrom's, would that make you as angry as jealousy makes people? I really believe that the answer is inside the person.
cheating comes in many forms, just like polyamory does.
Mm-hmm.
And so you never know if somebody went out and did a one-night stand, or desperate in a bed-death relationship went and saw an escort.
Or was just emailing somebody on a dating site and is carrying on a digital emotional, that doesn't have to be about sex. It's just that I've been now more intimate with this person over email than I am with you. And that completely tweaks some people.
So, unfortunately, the answer to your question is I don't have a generic answer, because cheating is not one thing. It's a whole bunch of different things. And so it goes case by case. Sometimes people meet somebody they fall in love with. And what are they supposed to do then? Leave their children? You know, and what if there were a world where we could be open about these things? I know one man I worked with whose wife was very frightened by his explorations of kink. And we got to the place where his wife gave him a session with a professional dominatrix for his birthday, which was great. I met her, she liked me, it was good. And then his wife got a terrible neurological disease, and with her agreement, he moved his paramour, his lover, into the house, who helped nurse her until her death. And she was pregnant at the time. This family, you would never think would have been possible to do this when it started. And we dealt with two sons who became grown-ups in the course of this time that I knew them. And it was amazing. It was so beautiful. They're faced with this overwhelming thing of this poor woman dying of, who had gone so far in her own explorations, dying of a degenerative neurological disease, which was really horrible. And that she just welcomed her husband's lover and her husband's lover's 4-year-old son and the baby, which I think she lived to see. So things are possible that you wouldn't imagine.
Yeah. We're almost out of time for this. You have a surprise.
I have a
for
surprise.
People.
I just wanted to share, this is crazy. Okay, I write poetry. And a while ago, I was in Greece, in Delphi, with some friends of mine. Delphi is a very interesting spiritual place. And I happened to go up to the top of Mount Parnassus, where there's this beautiful cavern called the Karikian Antron, and nobody's there. I went up there and I hung out in this cavern because it was rumored to be, well, I'll say this in the poem, but I'll tell you this before, the nest of Pan. And this is a poem about what I experienced in this cavern that I want to share with you. Would you please hear a poem? Yes. Okay, good. Beside an ancient Jupiter high up on Parnassus, far from any oracle, a great cavern opens a vulva to the planet. Dripping granite, mossy pillars, shadowed crevices, rippling curtains petrify. The children of the mountain do not speak the future. They open the earth to the sky. Rumor has it Pan nests here. Mighty goatfoot, your great cock has eyes that see the dark. See deep into the dark, down where desire pulses, red and warming. You spurt dreams deep into our mother. Earth quakes to meet your gaze. Down in the dark where Persephone ripens, Gaia composts our squirming fears, our slow-burning resentments. So spring arises from winter's dying ambition. If Pan should come to open me, stretch me around his thick, wild vision, shred all my costumes with his bright, sharp horns, his cock's eyes see only naked truth. Lover of earth, your bright cock rips up history. Then you shake us awake to rebuild what you have torn apart, and we will erect another history for you to destroy again. Dance on my grave, goatfoot, welcome me home. I will ride your huge laugh deep inside our mother, deeper and darker, till your cock's eyes light elsewhere.
With that, thank you.
You're welcome.
So much. So much. What's next?
What's next? We have a few requests to use Reid's nipple as the raffle measurement. If you'd like to get some tickets last minute right before we start drawings, come on up.
We'll start dinner in 10 minutes?
It's 7:45. VIP dinner is back there.
VIP dinner at 7:45.
If you'd like Dossie to sign your book, if you'd like to go over here, she will give it the lipstick.
The
Yes.
lipstick?
And